I'm Andrew Tracy from Men's Health. He's Matt Lindsay, Senior Trainer at Raw Fitness. He's Tom Grennan.
And this is how I build my body.
So what's first then? What are we hitting?
We're going to work on a single arm row. So dumbbell single arm row. Most important things that we try to emphasize when we're doing this is the initial setup. So like how I position Tom and making sure that we get all the little nuances of the technique. Certain things, elements that maybe his row needed a bit of development on, we've worked on. For example, he used to go quite high into his trap. He did like a bit of a short shuffle. And we've lengthened it out now. And also we put a big emphasis on tempo. Yeah. So not rushing through movements. But
you're a real master of the craft, aren't you? So this has been a real sort of education for you, right?
For sure. Like, you know, like I come from a CrossFit background where everything is pretty fast movements and kind of just get every rep done as not in a beautiful way.
Economically as possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas coming here, I've learnt that, well, one, tempo is key and slow movements get the best out of your muscle, really.
It's easier to connect. Also, as you say, when you take your time with it, you can really dial into what you're trying to actually lift with.
Yeah.
50 kg, yeah?
Ah, here we go. Here we go. Suddenly he's going big.
Let's go
9 to 11, yeah?
Let's go.
Key thing for me here is making sure that his weight is not too over, like hanging in the middle. So we just shift him slightly over. Make sure his heel is out. Always give a little kick if need be.
Nice and supported.
This is it. So when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at his pelvis. Is it square? I'm making sure his back's nice and level and straight. I always say your upper body needs to be higher than your lower, so you're not too flat.
I've noticed you've got the bench actually kinked up here as well,
Yes.
right? It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
flat.
exactly, to
You
keep
brought
the
it
chest
up.
high.
Yeah, nice.
The key really is that he doesn't end up rowing up into his shoulder too hard, so we do just a little tilt. That's one of our little things that we've worked on. So you need to take it slightly more in the middle, mate, because you're a little bit too high there. That's it. And then it's a little tilt, and then bringing it right into the hip here, yeah? So in, one, push chest out more, mate, and drive. Pull up, 1, 2, 3, and pull. Shoulders are square. It's good, Tom. Lovely stuff, mate. That's it, 1, 2, 3, keep driving in. Last one, big row, 1, 2, and 3.
What Matt likes to do is put an extra 1 or 2 in it, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes.
He says 11, but it's like 15 at the end of
Literally.
it.
So you've had a real emphasis on that tempo, on controlling that, because I know for a lot of people a row is, we're up, we're down, but that makes a huge difference, right? The length of your set there is so much longer. You've increased that time under tension that the muscle's under.
Exactly. Look, if we think of it in the really most basic terms, it should be 1 second up, 3 second eccentric, no pause at the top or the bottom. So that's what we aim for in this exercise. But we generally at Raw work more in like a 3-0-1-0 or 4-0-1-0 tempo.
So many numbers.
So there's a lot of numbers.
Literally.
On the screen.
Numbers.
So basically, the TLDR on that is nice, long, controlled lowering portion.
Exactly. Yeah. We're not rushing. We're not slamming around. We're not big dirty rotations. It's tight form. It's really dialing in, and obviously still lifting decent heavy weights.
What I've really noticed about doing training like this, so for me and my muscles, you can really feel the pump.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas like, if you're just doing like that, woof, 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 you don't feel that pump straight away. Yeah. You might feel it after like 3 sets of it, but after 1 set, mate, my arm's already feeling that,
So you were saying before, when Tom got here, and I think this is obviously, a lot of people will not suffer with this, but will perform rows like this, right? Very trap heavy,
Yes.
up here, kind of just pulling up into the shoulder.
Correct.
As opposed to getting that long arc,
Yes.
that big squeeze.
What you'll find when people get tired, they tend to roll forward. So they start all beautiful like this, even if everything looks nice. As they go through, they start rounding like a dog. And so E2 easy super cues are just push your bum out. It's the first part of the back straightened. Second part, chest out. And there we have a beautiful neutral spine. So we're going to do rack pull. So we start mid-shin. Key thing for Tom, obviously, is just initial setup, getting himself over the bar, getting his chest over. It's hinge pattern, it's a big compound movement, so we tend to put it in the start of workouts when he's freshest. Call it a strength indicator lift, because it's a good indication of how strong he is, because it's not when he's knackered at the end of a workout. For me, doing something that you're not necessarily the biggest fan of sets the tone for the workout, you know? It's like, definitely. Let's not do this when you're knackered. Let's do this when you're fresh and feeling strong. Let's get you in there, get you over that bar, and let's get the dirty stuff done.
So why would you do something like a rack pull over, say, a deadlift, a conventional deadlift from the floor?
So a couple of reasons. I think one will be for his range of movement. So you've not got incredibly mobile hamstrings. We did a movement assessment before we started training here and didn't score super well on that. But again, the hinge pattern is slightly smaller, so it allows him to still get a stretch, but not like an overstretch. So he can get himself loaded, get the pressure right where he needs, but not being in a position where he's in more of an unsafe position, let's say, for now.
Okay.
Right, nice and tight. You loaded?
Yep.
Yep. Then drive from the legs. Good. Smooth. 2, 3, and drive. Big chest. That was something he didn't used to do so well, so we nailed that bit. Nice and tall. Lovely. Push through the movement. Push that floor away. 1, 2, 3, and tall. Good. That's warm up, so let's pop it down. It's nice.
So again, you're really focusing on that slow eccentric, that load, and I noticed just before you pulled as well, you asked if he's loaded, so you're making sure he's not kind of jerking on the bar.
Exactly.
He's got tension on already.
What you'll see, very like inexperienced people, what you'll find is they don't have enough, we call it pre-tension, so they'll be very loose. So the first thing they're trying to do is pull it with their arms. And then from there, firstly, good luck pulling that with your arms. And second is you'll pull and then you'll have no tension. So then suddenly you go, and there's going to be a lot going through the lower back from 0 to 100. Whereas here we've loaded the muscle sensibly, built it, and then away he goes, yeah?
So we're almost talking about getting all the tension through my, so rather than jerking up like this, I'm here, I'm pulling down, I'm getting this strong tension before I even pick the bar up. Nice.
Yes, you have to. You have to have that tension first. That's beautiful, look at that. There's a man who knows how to deadlift as well. Yeah. Beautiful. Perfect. Put a little bit more on the bar.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
What's a working set? How many reps are you generally doing?
In this, we did 13 to 15, and then we move into 11.
So it's quite a few reps on the grip, on the forearm, isn't it? And like, do you think there's a lot of people who, in the sort of rush to be like, I don't need straps, man, I got good grip, actually undersell what how much they're stimulating their hams and all that stuff because they're not using. Is this you?
Definitely. Like Matt says, should I get grips? And I said, nah. Yeah. He's like, no, you should, because like you say, it is a lot of time gripping the bar, and really and truthfully, it's not about, the exercise isn't about grip, it's about hit.
Yeah.
So, bam, dunk. It's like getting wraps for boxing gloves, isn't it? Yeah. There you are, bop. Most important always first pickup, yeah? You know the drill. So get the bar nice and close, flatten it out, make sure your hips are back again. Yeah, nice and tight. Big leg drive, that's it. There he is, beautiful. 1, 2, 3. Smoothly down. There he is. Lovely stuff, yeah? Good work.
So where would these fit into Tom's training in terms of what would you pair them with? Where would they come in the workout?
I'll let Tom answer that. He knows.
Well, they'd come at the beginning, obviously, and then we'd do this, and then we'd do something upper body, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you'd superset those.
Superset.
Okay.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
So we're getting the best workout possible.
Yeah.
That's a blower though. I'm like,
it's like, don't ask me now.
Yeah, but I said I don't enjoy them, but when I'm doing them, you feel strong, and that's what I like, man.
Yeah.
It's great lifting, huh?
You know that.
Wicked.
Beautiful.
You said you don't like them, but this is a movement where you do have the propensity to lift quite a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So do you like that? Do you like that, being able to throw some heavy tin around?
Yeah, man, I think for me, like, again, going back to CrossFit, right? When I did a lot of that, that was my aim, to throw about a lot of weight. Whereas now, it wouldn't be that. It would be more like, am I getting the best out of the exercise? Whereas
For this goal, right?
for
muscle
this,
building,
for
yeah.
the,
So
yeah,
it's
for-
just,
for muscle
it's just
building.
a different
Yeah.
purpose.
It's a
right?
different
Yeah.
purpose. Whereas before, I'd just be trying to chuck up as much as I can. Whereas now, I'm like, I need to get my reps in, and doing them at them 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
So, like you say, I'm getting that build for the purpose that I want my body to be at the moment.
Lateral raises. We were chatting earlier, it's actually quite interesting how you've integrated shoulder work into Tom's training over the last sort of 6 weeks or so. On the right, am I right in thinking that's kind of on the run up to your cover shoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, like more of a, so how comes you're looking at movements like lateral raises and that sort of thing as opposed to just big overhead presses?
Jack did your movement assessment, didn't he?
Yeah. I actually have a bad shoulder, right? So I obviously wanted to, if I'm doing overhead raises, it's tight and it's sore. So obviously for the run up to the shoot, we had to really like see what would be best for my shoulders and still get the same kind of pump.
Yeah, we wanted
So,
to build as much
yeah.
strength with minimising his injury risk.
That's the word.
That's it, that's
what
what
we're
you're trying to say.
Professionals do it.
So you're basically just, you're mitigating any, because you've got, you know, sort of existing shoulder niggles.
Yeah.
So you're just mitigating any trouble. Because you were saying earlier when you're like, what if you injured your shoulder, then you might not be able to bench press, you might not be able to, and it's just mitigating that injury by using, basically just not coming above this plane almost in a way.
Exactly, like longer term we'll work on that and we'll bring more stuff in and, you know, develop that range of movement and things. But in the time that we've been working, you've got to think the here and now. And the here and now was, you know, we've got a shoot to do. We want to, the whole point of doing a movement assessment is to minimize injury risk. So we wanted to make sure that Tom would turn up in top form, get through to the shoot, clean bill of health, and could turn up looking his top self. And yeah, he's got a great set of delts and he's held on to them nicely.
So lateral raises, let's jump
Really?
in. What are we doing?
12.5s.
They're a real humbler of an exercise, aren't they? You've got that long lever, which makes this weight a lot heavier out here.
Exactly, yeah. We have a little bend in the elbows just to make sure that when he comes out, we don't put too much stress through his joint. So a little softness in the elbows as he comes out. Can even come a little bit forward again, just to take a little bit of the stress off his elbows and that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up. 1. And just try to set the level for him so he knows how high. And with the height of the elbow, not the height of the wrist. We see a lot of people do this, come up like an eagle. 1. Perfect, there we are. It's lovely, nice and smooth. Try not to, so tight, 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 so we don't lose that. There he is. Good man. Soft. Lovely. That's it. Let's do 3 more, buddy. Yeah, keep it tight as you can. That's it. Elbows. Perfect. Let's get 1 more, bud. Perfect. Nice. Good.
Beautiful.
With a lot of people, what you'll see is aggressive up and really loose eccentric. So you'll see a lot of this, and then without control. And you'll see, obviously, with Tom, we're trying to control that way down. It's 50% of the movement, right? And half of the time under tension. So we want to make that stick. So as we come up, smooth, 2, 3 or 4, nice and smooth, rather than, and obviously trying not to throw the body or create too much momentum.
Give them to me, I'll show you how not to do it.
He's like, "Ugh."
You made a really interesting point there, actually, about when you're talking about the eccentric, of that it's half the rep.
Yeah.
Let's say I even nail the concentric, I nail the lifting portion, I'm up here, and then I just drop. That's suddenly tension off the muscle.
Exactly.
So if you're, I'd say a sort of traditional lateral that you would see in the gym would look something like that. And that dropping of the eccentric, you really are losing half the work there, aren't you?
Yeah.
And if time under tension is what we're looking for, here's where we get it, right?
You've got to balance out how well someone's connected with that muscle. Because if someone's a professional bodybuilder, they can dial in really, really tight into those muscles. Tempo is a big factor in that. So yeah, so that's what we've focused on, isn't it?
Actually, because if we look at the best deadlifters in the world, you're not necessarily going to see textbook form. You're not and I don't even mean the heaviest deadlifters. I just mean the best deadlifters in the world. You're not always going to see completely neutral spine.
No, of course not.
But these are people who have built the capacity to do that with that form, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're dealing with, general public and not professional bodybuilders, you don't train these two people the same. So, as you say, quite often you're stronger in some worse postural positions. So actually you can deadlift more with a slightly rounded back. However, you've got to think about risk versus reward. And in the case of Tom, if he slips a disc and he can't go on tour, then
I'm done for.
He's going to hate me. But we can get all the core benefits of deadlifting with mitigating or minimizing that risk.
Yeah, like you said, it's finding out that balance. Do you want to be a professional bodybuilder? Do you want to be the biggest deadlifter in the world, or are you trying to use training as a tool? And I think that's what's important here, right?
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
So move number 4, bit of an interesting one. We're on the reverse sled drag. Talk us through this.
Mate, this is something that I think I need at the moment, and something that made me sick when I first did it. But I went through an ankle injury in February and had surgery. So obviously my ankle's weak, which then meant my knees started to weaken. And coming here, I was like, well, my next goal is to really strengthen my ankle, strengthen my knee, and get to a place where I was, And I think for me, this is definitely the first indicator to where I am and how far I need to be to get to where I need to be, It's an amazing exercise. Again, for me as well, why I love it is because it puts you into a hole. You don't realize when the wave is coming, but as soon as you finish, you can't breathe, man.
But sled drags are a bit insidious, aren't they? Because it's not like a deadlift, it's not like a heavy weight where you're aware from the beginning, this is heavy.
Yeah.
It catches up.
It catches you, yeah.
Talk us through what are the benefits of doing a reverse sled drag, any sort of sled drag, versus traditional lower body movements, squats, deadlifts.
So a couple of bits that you'll get from this, which have been really helpful for Tom, is first it's going to help strengthen the stabilizers around his knees, even your feet. Obviously you're walking, so you've got that extension there. Another really important point is it's great for conditioning. You hadn't been super active before you'd come back into training. So it was able to help improve his conditioning without doing something, for example, like running, which may have aggravated his ankle more. And the third point is it works with lactic acid. So you really feel like an accumulative burn. So that lactate builds up set on set. So you do the first set and you're like, oh, it's a bit warm that. But lactate doesn't disperse in a matter of moments. It's accumulative. So we do something where we normally do blood shunting. So we do something, for example, like a lat raise or something else where you're moving the blood from the lower body to the upper body, and you'll find your heart rate will have to raise quite intensely because the blood's all pulled in your legs, and then you're popping that back up into your upper body again, and then demanding it to go back in the legs again. So you get lactate, conditioning, and yeah, you get like a heart rate raise out of that as well.
Sort of peripheral heart action,
exactly.
Where it's having to work. So is that something you try and integrate with a lot of your supersets, working upper, lower, so you've got that heart action, but also that rest between upper, lower?
Yes. We're looking at every little 1% that we can do where we can get more intensity or better quality or higher heart rate, or any way to find that we can get something more out of a client. And in the case of Tom, this is absolutely the right exercise at the right time.
Here is me about to show you how it's done.
Walk us through it, yeah. Let's go.
Literally walk us through it. That's it. So perfect.
So much time and attention, right?
Yeah,
it's done.
Impossible. So key thing is just to keep the feet a similar width to the sled, so the tension stays consistent. Because if you walk in and out, you can lose tension and fall over. So any people new to sled, don't go like this and then this, otherwise you're going to do little tippy-toppy steps and fall over. That's it. So all the way back to me, Tom. Right back to me here. So right back till he hits my hand. Lovely. This is where we normally see sweary Tom.
Yeah, this is me trying to hold back the language now. But I can already feel that burn in my legs, the lactic acid building up.
Lead with your shoulders, yeah? Let your legs do the work, lead with your shoulders. Good stuff. So you've got just over 5 meters. Lean in, back you come. Keep the feet wide, buddy. Right back to my hand here. 2 and 1.
Ah, fuck off.
So what would you normally pair this with? You said upper lower, but what would normally go with this?
Something like a shoulder press would be a good combo, but obviously that's not what we do with Tom at the moment because he can't press overhead. So yeah, something like that where you've, as you say, you go upper lower. And generally I try to get people to leave their hands there so they don't do any sort of groovy dad dancing or anything as such and not use any upper momentum. It just keeps it right locked in on those legs. And something like that, doing that and then 45 seconds later going and doing a press. It's mighty hard on the heart, you know?
Yeah.
But you can probably imagine now trying to do an overhead press at this point, arms above the head, isn't going to come easy.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's all part of the magic, isn't it?
Yeah, like you said, like finding those 1% to up the intensity without necessarily just ramping up the weight or...
Yeah.
It's been amazing to be able to get into the shape that I'm in and train differently to how I used to train.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, so nice one, bro.
Yes. Gonna kill it.
Bro.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
So 4 big moves there, lots for you to go away and chew on from Matt here. Where can they see the fruits of all of this labour?
Ooh, the fruits of this labour. You can see it in your October issue for Men's Health. I've got to say thank you very much to Men's Health. Thank you to you. Thank you to you too. I've watched these videos for many years and I've read Men's Health for many years too. And I've always said to myself, I would love to maybe one day be on the cover of Men's Health, and it's happening. So I'm very, very honoured. So again, thank you to Men's Health for having me as your October cover star. It's been amazing to be able to train and get myself into the shape I'm in. And it's onwards and upwards from here. I'm just gonna keep building, keep growing, and I hope that you've loved watching how I've built my body. Now, I love ya. Make sure you get that October issue, and I'll see you soon.